Hello, finally. Yeah, I'm a little late. We were taking care of business on a Sunday afternoon. On a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Foremost, I want to tell you, I went outside. First time this spring, first time this year, therefore. Um, Sat in the sunshine and did some fiber picking. You know, where it's washed fiber and you have to open it all up, get it ready for what is going to be combing in the case of this particular fiber. Beautiful black Shetland. Um, I'm really looking forward to spinning it. However, it's washed, but it is still slightly greasy. I have decided not to rewash it. It My feeling is if I rewashed it, it's going to get brittle, right? It's got this nice hand to it, even though there is just that slightly. It's not even stickiness, just that slightly leaves the lanolin on your fingers. It didn't help that I was in the sunshine. I did finally put it down at my feet under the table, so it was in the shade. Being in the bag in the sunshine, sitting on top of the table, it was getting drippier. It really wasn't dripping, but you know what I'm saying? It heated up that lanolin and was drying it coming out of the fiber. I didn't get to work too long on it, but Newman and I had a good 45 minutes or so out in the sunshine. Newman's not been going out much. We're having difficulty with stray cats that want to pick a fight with him, and I have had the unfortunate unpleasantness of them coming in the cat door, helping themselves to the trash. So I have locked the cat door. So Newman now depends on us to let him in, let him out, like we used to do a long time ago before we had the cat door. And for the most part, he's been fine with that. He's slowed down a lot, right? It used to be he wanted to be outside all the time, but lately at least right now, he's not as happy to go out and spend whole bunches of time out there like he did. So he's more content to be inside sleeping or on my lap. Anyway, he went out and had a wonderful stroll around the yard, smelling everything, like where this cat's been. He's been here, he's been here, he's been here. I am not one to call to have stray cats picked up. We live in the country. I mean, it's not like they're in danger of getting into a lot of things that would hurt them. I prefer to have barn cats. I can't say he lives in the barn cat. I can't say he lives in the barn. I can't. He may hunt in there now and then, but he has a pretty wide territory, and doesn't come around except every couple of weeks, like once a month or something like that. I think he strolls such a wide territory and stays around for a while and hunts it till he's not having as good luck, and then goes on. So I'll go long periods of time where I think, oh, that cat must have met his demise, and then he shows up again. So when he's here, I just try and keep him in the house. But there's a huge amount of stuff to do outside now, and unfortunately, we're behind because one, we went to Florida. That took away almost 2 weeks, and two, it has rained excessively this month. We are 2 inches over our normal total, and we still have some of March to go, and we're getting rain in a couple days. So, it's been a very, very, very wet spring. I'm not complaining because at least it's not like I'm having to dig my car out to go anywhere, right? We're not snowed in, and we have plenty of moderate weather with sunshine, but need a jacket on, that kind of thing. I have one thing to talk about and show you before I get to spinning. I don't do book reviews very much. I used to do them all the time on the podcast. I have been reading this book. In fact, I'm done. Zen and the Art of Needlecraft, and it's by Sandra, and I don't know how to say her, Dietrich? I don't know how to say her name. Detrixie? It's a Detrixhe. She's also done Zen and the Art of Quilting, which I have not read. I've read a number of different books. These are, I have discovered books that people are writing that are involved in this writing course where they'll teach you how to publish a book in 6 weeks and edit the book for you and direct you to publishers, publish it for you. Adams Media is who's listed on this one, but that's basically where, single topic how-to books, except sometimes they call them the Zen of, right? And she uses a lot of interesting, it was a totally different read than how-to book. It was not a how-to book. It's very close to what I would write about spinning if I wrote one. And it's about how it fits in your life and what it does for you and the states of mind that you reach with different crafts. Now, her craft seems to be sewing, quilting, and she does mention knitting. Okay. But for the vast majority of work that she does, it has to do with a single needle. Sewing needle. And so it's been a good read. I've enjoyed it. I have one thing that I wanted to read, one little bit here. By the way, this is my bookmark that I have. That's a cat. Oh, it's upside down? Yes. It's a cat on a ribbon. Found this at my mom's. I'm going to get sidetracked just a little bit here. There was a piece of furniture in Mom's house that was an antique that came from my dad's side of the family, and she wanted my brother to have it. And I was fine with that because, there's plenty to go around. I don't need stuff. I was fine with that. But in the process of the first time I went down after not the first time, but after she passed, one of the times I went down there, I did a little house cleaning, and I took all the books out of it because I knew the piece was partially desk, partially bookcase. And I took all the books out of it, got rid of the ones I didn't want, put the ones I wanted in her bookcase, which was filled with teddy bears. She was a teddy bear collector. So I still have those teddy bears. I don't know what I'm going to do with those teddy bears. They can live down at her house as long as I don't have to sell that house or whatever. They can stay there. But anyway, I put the books I wanted in the bookcase and cleaned out pictures and anything in there that was immediately caught my eye as I don't want this to disappear. I want to do something with it. But there was still a lot of stuff in it, especially the desk part. So he called me sometime in February and said, I'm going down to get the piece of furniture. I'm not currently working. I got some time off. I'm going to drive down, get it, and drive back. So, okay, that's fine. So when we went down there 2 weeks ago, all of the stuff that had been in it was very neatly stacked in one little corner, and I had to deal with all the rest of it. And I found this bookmark. I found a number of bookmarks because I think some people didn't realize that she couldn't read, that she was blind, and that she did audios and everything. So wherever these came from, she had stuck them away in that desk. And I brought most of them home. I'm using them. So that's the story of the bookmark. Now, I was using it in this book because there's a poem in here, okay? Uh, says she calls it an old nursery rhyme. I have never heard this before, which is what surprises me that it's a nursery rhyme. Okay, cross patch, draw the latch, sit by the fire and spin. Take a cup and drink it up, then call your neighbors in. Okay, first of all, it's spinning, right? But she goes on to dissect this, because the whole point she was making to the chapter she was writing was your crafting puts you in a different frame of mind at the end than you were at the beginning. That whole process will do things to you and your mind, and it's usually positive, right? It's usually positive. And that's what this poem is about, because it starts out with the word crosspatch. Whoever this poem is addressed to is in a very bad mood, right? Draw the latch. Okay, close your door. Get yourself some peace and quiet, however you do that, right? Draw the latch. Sit by the fire, a little bit of comfort, right? You're sitting, you're warm, and spin. Do this mindless, repetitive, wonderful thing that will take your mind off of whatever it is that's making you cross. Take a cup and drink it up. Now, as she points out, there's nothing saying what's in that cup. So we can go wherever we want to with it, right? It could be water and you get hydrated and that's all good for you. We could go that, it's very cold out because you're sitting by the fire, so you got a nice hot cup of something. It could be coffee, could be ale, it could be whatever, right? So you've got yourself warm, relaxed, productive, hydrated, watered. Then call your neighbors in. You're ready for company. Isn't that cool? Crosspatch, draw the latch. Sit by the fire and spin. Take a cup and drink it up. And then call your neighbors in. I'm going to write that down somewhere because this book is going to get passed on. And I want to make sure. I might even make a sampler out of that, right? Sounds good, doesn't it? So speaking of that, I know that, I focus a lot on spinning on this, and yet one of the things that she talks about in that book is not getting lopsided, one-sided. That especially learning a new skill is really good for your brain. And then it's also, if it goes well, very good for your self-confidence, your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself, right? I have noticed over the last couple of years, basically when I stopped podcasting, which was a while before I started streaming, because there was a period of time where I kept trying to tell myself I was still podcasting, and I wasn't. I didn't want to go through the process. But the biggest point is I have reached a saturation point where I have way more fiber than I can begin to spin in any amount of time. And I'm getting a huge backlog of yarn that I have spun that has no projects because I don't take the time to work on projects with that yarn. Instead, I just go back to the old faithful and spin, because I have that pressure of all the fiber that I have, already acquired, pushing me to spin. So, it isn't so much that I got an answer for that in that book. It was an acknowledgement. It made me think about it. It made me realize this is what was going on, and that there's going to be uh, the attempt to do a little bit more knitting with my hand spun and try to move everything forward from the blockages and working back to the fiber. Having said that, the whole reason I'm late today is because we were setting up our overnight hotel room for going up to Greencastle, Indiana, for the fiber fair there, which I didn't expect to be open. I'm absolutely going to support them. It's the one I used to vend at. It's one I don't want to see die. I thought it died, right? So we're going to go do that. And yeah, that's what we were doing. We ended up, we can't stay real close. We ended up staying about an hour away, but that's okay. We'll go up Thursday. The fiber fair is on a Friday and Saturday, April 14th and 15th. So we're going to go up the Thursday night and then drive to the fiber fair and drive home, which means, I have a 4-hour drive home. That gives me plenty of time at the fiber fair, and it also gives me the incentive to go and stop, right? I need to get going. I need to get on the road, especially because I don't like driving it in the dark. I can do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I'd like to be home before dark. We'll see how that goes. With the time change, it's a little easier. So I am drinking my coffee while it is still warm. I doubt I'll get much more in me because once I start spinning, I don't remember to drink it. Okay, let's spin. Let me spin. I want to spin. I am working on this. That camera's picking it up really good. It's showing that blue color. Sometimes I think the daylight has something to do with it. Coming in my window here, I think sometimes that washes stuff out more than I realize. And that's why I'm not happy with the color I see. But it's a new camera. I can't really blame the camera. By the way, I spun 2 ounces of this, and there's 8 ounces in all. So I am going to go for another 2 ounces and put 4 ounces per bobbin so I can 2-ply it. So I will be periodically taking a weight here. Instead of winding off 2 ounces, well, I could wind off 2 ounces. It's easier just to take a weight of the ball every now and then. And take off because it's at 6 ounces right now. Besides that, 2 ounces is just about what I can do in 2 hours. With breaks and stuff like that. We're going out to eat after I get done. I had planned on eating out like last Friday, and we ended up cooking both Friday and yesterday to use food that I had thought out. So I need to get a few things from the grocery store, so we are going to go eat out. I spent a huge amount of time looking for a particular piece of paper, both Friday and Saturday. What I need to do is register our car. It's in March, which is my husband's birth month, so, which is how Kentucky does it. And I could not find, I found the reminder card they always send. I found the insurance cards. I could not find the copy of last year's registration, which you're supposed to bring in. And, oh my gosh, I looked through all sorts of things that might be, I mean, I looked through folders of where I have stuff filed. I looked through last year's papers that I saved for 1 year. Anyway, I found it. Finally, just out of the blue, I'm looking through some folders and I said, it's in the income tax folder because it has taxes on it and you can claim those taxes on the income tax. So there it was. Hi, Kay. You ever spent time trying to find a particular piece of paper? That's what I'm talking about. Found it though. So can't do it tomorrow. I have to do it Tuesday. I have to go get those tags, stickers for the car license plates. Car, just one. We only have one. Yes, and you know, it is like, when I finally remembered where it was like, oh, why didn't I remember that 2 days ago? I really did spend a lot of time. Of course, I did a little organizing too while I was messing with it, but still. So when I was sitting outside in the sunshine picking fiber, what I was working on is a black Shetland. It's really nice. I'm going to comb it. It is so black though. There are periodic whiter in it, but it really isn't going to make that much difference. And right now it feels fine. I have had trouble with Shetland after you apply it feeling rough. So we'll see. But it's as black as a black Welsh Mountain, but it's not. It's much softer. It's much nicer. It's in there's a lot of lock formation to it, but the locks are not thick. They're thinner. I'm thinking this was a lamb. I have to find the paperwork that goes with it. I bought it 2 years ago. Or whatever was the first. Did I buy it? Oh gosh, now I can't remember if it was pre or post 2020. Oh dear. I may have had it around longer than I thought. Anyway, it's nice. I don't know if anybody else has basketball net in the house. My husband is got it on, but he is not. I mean, he's not like I am when I watch Tour de France. Right? I want to see it every day, that kind of thing. Once his team, which is the University of Kentucky, is out of it, then he's like, you know. But I was, there we go. Not being in the sock madness, right? I'm kind of been letting it slip by me and not paying attention to the fact that this is it. They're in the down to 8 teams going down to 4, I think. My thinking about going to the fiber fair, and a lot of times I have a list, things in mind. Last time I went to one, I wanted to buy dies, and I couldn't get them. So I'm gonna go through my die box and look at what I have, and possibly write down a few colors that I want. And I have decided that I have a lot of white merino and merino superwash. I've decided that's what I want to dye, right? I want to get that dyed. I saw an interesting question in Discord that has never come up, and I've been thinking about. I liked how it got answered. I didn't answer it, but I liked how it got answered. But I was thinking more about it. The question was, can a single that you've spun be dyed before you ply it? I've never even thought about doing it that way. I have always dyed my fiber right with, I have always had my fiber whatever state it's going to be, and then either have it that way as the yarn or dye that yarn. I've never dyed the single. I've dyed the fiber, I've dyed the yarn. I have never dyed a single. That was a lot of fumbling to get that out right, but I've never dyed a single. So I was thinking about it. Now, the answer was yes, you can. They didn't go into a lot of details of what they're going to run into dealing with a single. The only other answer they gave was it will change the nature of that single. And that statement, is what will really give them trouble, maybe, or not, depending on how the single reacts. So the very first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have to skein that single off. And unless you put it under tension, it's going to want to crinkle, right? so that it's going to have to be skeined off under tension. And then it should be set so that you can take it off that tension. And you set it by boiling water, something to set the twist. Now, if you have a dye pot, okay, you can have your dye pot hot enough that you can tie that single up as much as you can. In other words, this is what I do. Tie that single up as much as you can, like maybe 8 to 10 ties, and have your dye pot water a little hotter than you normally dye at. And you can do one of two things. The color will be different, but you can put it into the boiling water and go straight into have a separate pot. I'm thinking as I talk, sorry. Have a separate pot with hot water, and you dunk your well-tied single into that, and then straight out of that and into a dye pot that's also hot. After that, of course, it's just a matter of rinsing and drying. I have spun singles to be knitted with, mostly Angora. Did not dye them because I also did not set the twist by getting it really saturated wet. It takes so long to dry. I set it by steam. That's nice music. I like piano, that's why. I like piano. But the other thing I'm thinking about for the fiber fair is buying. I was thinking about trying to buy some more from this guy that this came from. I have been so impressed with this. I ought to get this done before I decide and see how much bleed I get when I wash the yarn and see how it feels after it's washed and dried. Knit a swatch with it, but I love the way it's processed. So as far as spinning goes, it's Romney. Romney is not the next to the skin soft, but it's definitely wear it over a turtleneck or something type sweater or vest. Wear hat and gloves. The hat and gloves will be fine. I don't know if, I'm sure it's really, really good for socks, but I don't know that I can, they're not going to be thin enough. I don't think the 2-ply is going to be thin enough to really knit socks that I can wear other than boot socks. Well, hello, AMA. Long time no see. How are you today? Are you having a good weekend? It's about over for you. Everything is doing well here. Spring is springing up like it should, and other than a little more rain than normal, it's been pretty nice. I like it when it's not so cold because, well, our furnace doesn't run now, and you know, when it's really cold outside, even if it runs, it's not all that warm in the house. So I like the more moderate temperatures. You just want summer. Yeah. I'm at the point where this week I need to get my garden. I have two small garden beds. I'm going to get those ready, and I can plant lettuce and chard and a few peas, English peas, a few things like that. I can't really plant tomato beans, cucumbers until May, so get some fresh greens first. I have not tried it. I know what it is. So, is this connected with like Google Maps, and it'll direct you to a cache, and you take something, leave something? Or is this more of a, going to specific geological areas, specific historic areas? Do you usually hike? Drive to a certain area but then hike? Or do you just go to an area and start one? That's an interesting concept too. I don't know how they get started. Somebody has to start them, right? It's a separate app. Okay. People place boxes and you find them. Yeah. Okay. It's sort of like an immediate time capsule, right? Don't have to dig it up. You usually go to a place and randomly decide to see if there's any close to you. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That's interesting. That sounds fun. When you find the geocache, do you uh, just look what's in there and then leave everything? Add to it, but leave everything? I don't know where I got the idea. It was a take one, leave one. Sometimes there's stuff you can, I think you mean trade, but you really don't care for that side of it. Most you just have a big log that you sign. Oh, okay, a logbook. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. So you can see where the other people have been, and they can, yeah, I like that. We have state parks across the United States, and each state park has a stamp. You can go to their office and get a book stamp to say, I've been at your state park. But they also have a visitor's book where you can put your name there and date so that people know who's visiting. I bought the little logbook for the stamps, and what really surprised me was when we went on a cruise, and the cruise went to Alaska, which is a state of the United States. One of the excursions we took was actually to one of the state parks, so we ended up getting a stamp for it. I was like, I didn't bring my book, so they gave me a nice piece of paper with the stamp to glue in the book. But it was like, I never would have dreamed that if I was going on a cruise, I should have taken that book. But I still got the stamp. Find it and leave it. It's a fun pastime. That's cool. It does. It sounds a little bit of a purpose for if you're traveling anyway. The problem with travel that hubby and I do is we pretty consistently go the same way all the time, go to the same place too. And so what I'm talking about away from our home state. But when we travel differently, it's usually on a cruise ship. It's usually different that way. You've also placed a few, and you get 2 to 5 emails a day from people that find them. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be cool. There's a thing on the web called post crossing or cross posting. I forget which way it is. But basically, you trade email addresses. They monitor it. They, what's the word? Curate it, right? But you're trading. Randomly, they send you somebody's postal address, and I mean, generally, it's out of the country, right? It's not in the United States, and you just trade postcards, right? You send them a postcard, they're supposed to send you a postcard, and I like that. I did that for quite a while, just to get the postcards in the mail is a lot of fun. Yeah, mail should be fun. It shouldn't be all bills, right? In this day and age, I'm kind of surprised we still have mail, but I can't imagine not having it, really. Ooh, this is making me sleepy. In spite of my cup of coffee. They had a beer festival. They called it a Bach festival. Um, German beer, German brats and wursts. Yesterday, we didn't get to go. It wasn't as nice a weather yesterday as it was today. It's too bad, but we had other stuff to do anyway, so. But yeah, that was in the local bigger town near me yesterday. I have been to similar events. We are coming up on the biggest event of the city, which is the Kentucky Derby horse race. And that is in May. There's always a lot of things going on before that. And sometimes we try to go to some of that stuff. Sometimes they have concerts on the waterfront, which is a river. They always have food booths and things like that when they do that. There is a balloon glow where lots of hot air balloons come in and fly over the city. That should be mid-April sometime. I've never seen that live. They kind of can control where they go. It used to be they would land various different places, and they always said it depends on how the wind would blow them and whatever, but now it seems like they're always following a specific path. It also gets canceled the most of all the events because they just can't go up in any weather, and they only have like a 2-day slot that they can do it, either Saturday or Sunday. Who is Pando? I don't know you. I don't understand your question. Did I say? Okay. What did I say? Because I don't know what I was referring to if I said that. No. Did you type wrong? I was talking about the Derby. Sorry, AMA. We'll get it straightened out. Oh, I don't have Pando anymore. He was... Oh my gosh, I forgot about him. I'll have to... Yeah. I'll have to change that. wonder where I've changed that. He was a panda. No, no. He was a panda that you could just, it would sprinkle stuff on him. I mean, it would show up here by where you see me spinning and stuff. I wonder if he's still around on here. I don't think so. Let's see here. Okay, you're going to see a lot of things popping up here. I'm trying to figure out if he's around still. I wonder if he's in this one. Hello. Nope. I'm not even finding where I had messed with it. I know I can't change that while I'm streaming. Gosh, I haven't messed with this for so long. I don't know if I can remember how to do some of this. There it is. Channel points. Let's see what this says here. There it is. Alright. Pando is gone. Bye bye, Pando. I know, it was kind of cute. Uh, It was. I'm having so much trouble with this Streamlabs, which is, and Twitch. So Panda was on Twitch, right? And I'm having so much trouble with Streamlabs and Twitch uh, working together. And I keep waiting. It's it's working, but I keep waiting for maybe another update or one or the other that will make it work better. And my option, if it isn't gonna happen, my option may be stream with Twitch only, not Streamlabs. But I've got everything set up for Streamlabs, so I don't mess with it. I've been streaming for 3 years now, and I just at the beginning I messed with a lot of stuff like that. But now I'm lucky if I show up on time. Isn't that terrible? What it is for me is setting aside specific time for crafting, mostly spinning. That is an obligation in the sense that, I mean, I will do it. It gives me the chance to do what I want to do by making the time frame set so that it's like going to work for, other people. But I don't do it as often as you do work. But hopefully that makes sense. It gets me here and getting spinning done, which is what I want to do, but will put off if there's a lot of other stuff to do around the house. I, fully intended to try and get specific emotes made for this, and I couldn't get them made. I tried. I know some things about computers, but I just couldn't get that done. And I don't want to pay for it. It really would be nice to have something out of beyond the regular Twitch stuff to spend channel points on. I like that when I'm watching a stream. You know, I like it when they have that. Okay, stretch first. Ugh. More than halfway through the stream. And then I'm going to weigh my fiber and see how much I've spun. I'm aiming for 2 ounces today. Posture check. Yeah, I've been kind of slumping. I can feel it in my back. Let me get so that I can sit up good and straight. That's good. Except I gotta weigh this fiber. I'm gonna be back here with my back to you here just a minute. I have 1.7 ounces to spin. No, wait. 0.7. If it was 8 ounces, I want to take it down to 4 ounces. What's this say now? Okay. Oh, wee! I'm almost done with what I was going to do today. That went fast. A little bit more. Of course, this is what I got to spin yet. Alright. Is that 4 ounces? Almost. Okay. This is what I have left to spin. Okay. Have a good week. And thanks for stopping by. It's been great talking to you. I really appreciate seeing you. Stop by again when you can. And sleep well. I got good sleep last night. Everybody should have a good sleep, I'll tell you. It makes a big difference. All right. Oh, shoot. Mess Bandit. Now, why didn't that? It says it won't support it. I'll never understand that. Alright, I'll mess with that later. I am back. I had a wonderful vacation. I really did. And always good to get away. So I am spinning a wool breed called Romney, and it has mohair mixed in with it. And this is what's on my lap here is the last of what I'm going to put on this bobbin. The rest then goes on a second bobbin so I can ply it. Oh, I just shut my music off. I just realized. I shut all my tabs. I was trying to do something to look up about something about the emotes and stuff like that, and on Twitch, and I went ahead and shut all my tabs and I shut off my music. So let's get that back. Where are we here?
If you're a homeowner in Kentucky,
Hang
and
on,
you're still
I'll get
paying
rid
for
of the ads here in a
electricity,
sec.
that's big.
There we go. There we go. We went to Florida. We went to was my mom's house that I own now with my brother, and it's in the central part. So for 2 days, we went ahead and rented a motel room on the Gulf Coast and went over to the Gulf and spent 2 days there. Did not go in the water. It was a teeny tiny little town on the Gulf Coast. Had one really good. I had several good restaurants and a good motel that was, you know, pretty old. It's been around for a while. It was well cared for. It was very clean, but it's been around for a while. Spent a lot of time sitting by the Gulf, mostly in a kind of a tiki hut thing that they had outside, or walking or eating. Did a little bit of shopping at an antique mall. That was a lot of fun. I love antique malls. So it was a very good vacation. Had a good, pretty busy drive down. Less busy and better drive back. We made better time. And ever since I've been back, Newman has not let me out of his sight. He does not, my cat does not like it when I go away. But I'm alright with that too, because I miss him when we travel. Mass Bandit, you doing okay? You've been doing okay? Been working? Is spring hitting your area yet? It is here. We've had a lot of rain. Working and studying. Yeah. That's your life now, isn't it? I want to tell you something. I've been reading a book. Here, let me put this up a minute. I finished it, and it's called Zen and the Art of Needlework. Needlecraft, I should say. Zen and the Art of Needlecraft. And she is a mostly sewer and quilt maker, which is sewing. Okay. It's spring, but spring in the north, snowy still, but the temps are creeping up. Yeah, you're so much further north than we are. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about this, something in here, okay, so I live near Louisville, Kentucky. Not in it, but I live near it. And one of the things I did not know, I have lived here 34 years, and I did not know this. The Embroiderers Guild of America headquarters is in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I knew the Quilters was in Paducah, right? Paducah, Kentucky. I did not know that it was in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm like, I can go there. They have a gallery of what they deem really nice needlework, embroidery. They have a guild. They have these, what they call study boxes. So you can get a study box on Hardanger. It'll have samples of Hardanger. It'll have instructions. This is not what you buy. It's like a circulating library, right? You borrow them. And this is not like you have to live in Louisville to get it, right? They'll mail them, right? They'll actually mail them. So they have study boxes. They have events that, I was like, this is on my doorstep, and I didn't know it, And, I like cross stitch. I like embroidery. I love crewel work. I love all of that. I don't do much of it because I have been focused on the spinning for so many years now. It's kind of a habit. But I have been trying to make one of my streams needlework. I got away from it somewhere around October when things got crazy with Christmas and everything. So I'm hoping to get back to that this coming Tuesday morning. But I just wanted to let you know that have you even heard of the Embroidery Guild? Or what is it? National Embroidery? I don't know if I can find this. Again, I didn't mark it. You knew it was in Kentucky? Must have been further up in here. Oh well. I'm not going to find it. So maybe I'd do better looking it up online here. Embroiderers Guild of America. They do their classes in different ways. They have group correspondence courses, individual correspondence courses, online, and what they call lightning rounds. They have virtual lecture series, and this is a link to that. If I can. Wait a minute, it's making me sign into Twitch here. Oh, I can't do the mobile phone thing. Gosh. I hate this. Alright, sorry. Got a piece of paper and pencil? I have got to get Twitch talking. It's EGA USA.org. Embroiderers Guild of America USA.org. That's so frustrating. I am going to bring my phone in the next time and sign in and see if I can get this fixed once and for all. It's never made me do that before. It's saying I need to log into Twitch. I am logged into Twitch on my computer, but I'm not logged into Twitch on Streamlabs, and I guess that's what... Yay! Got it. Okay. There, I'll go back to talking about that then. I thought their courses looked very, very interesting. I don't know about the money. I mean, you know, I don't know if there's a discount if you join the guild. Okay, if you join EGA. So I haven't looked into whether there's a possibility of getting the cost reduced for members as a member or not. And in this day and age when so much is on, you know, on YouTube and stuff, I'm sure that they have some competition there, you know. But I am definitely going to go check out where they are and their display. This explains one of the reasons why our state fair, see, our state fair always has a huge number of quilts, and I knew it was Paducah producing that. That's where the big quilting whatever is. Paducah's like a mecca for quillers. But I always thought our state fair had an awful lot of really, really good cross-stitch entries. Counted cross-stitch. And I always thought, oh my gosh, you know, people can't even use a kit. You can't enter if you are using, not for the counted cross-stitch, but if you're using for embroidery or whatever, a pre-printed pattern, that sort of thing. I mean, there's just so much originality and stuff to the entries. I didn't know why, right? I understood why there were a lot of quilts because Kentucky had Paducah, but now it was like a light bulb went on. It was like, oh my gosh. And I think in my ancient history, when I lived in Louisville back in, and went to U of L, went to the college there and everything, I think I knew that, but had forgotten. So. You did? Really? Well, I'm not surprised, but you took one of their classes once or twice back in 20 years ago. Okay. I'm sure they've been around for a long time. Anyway, if they let me take pictures when I go see them, I'll post them on Discord. I don't know what there may be a limitation. They may not allow it. Some places are very funny about that. And some places don't mind, so. Anyway, I have been thinking a lot about getting into more needlework. And it's just because I was reading that book. I haven't sewn anything other than done mending for a long time. I used to sew my clothes. I used to do sewing for other people. When I lived in California, we went to Episcopal church, and the priest, I made the priest vestment, and I did all sorts of embroidery on it. Applique, actually. I did applique on it. flowers and doves and that sort of thing. I think that was the most bold thing. I mean, it just, I was like, I just did it, and I was like, now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm surprised you had the courage to do that. It was a small church, but, and we knew the priest real well, but still. Somewhere in the depths of all my archives of photos, I've got a picture of that. Somewhere. That was back when you took pictures and sent the film in to get it developed, right? Back before digital cameras. I made one wedding dress. I remember that. Of course, I've been married twice. I made my first wedding dress. The second one, I picked a dress and altered it. But I picked the dress because I loved all the lace that was on it. So I went ahead and just altered it. That was a really pretty dress. It's too bad wedding dresses don't actually get worn more. I thought I would. But she talks about that in this book too. About how wedding dresses, everybody thinks that they could be practical, and they used to just wear their very best dress to get married in. And then, of course, it came around where the wedding dress became an individual thing and was never worn again, preserved to be passed down in the family, but, that sort of thing. And I was thinking about that because when I made that, when I altered that dress, it was a wedding dress, and I was like, I wonder if I can alter this so that I can wear it. I'm not sure I could get into it now, though, so it's not worth looking into. But she mentions in that book that even when people pick something that is closer to what you would wear for dress up in your regular life, if you get married in that, you usually don't want to wear it, for even a dress up situation in your regular life. Hi! I'm sorry you're late too, because I'm about 5 minutes away from saying goodbye. But good to see you, Knitter. Thanks for stopping by. Are you having a good weekend? Mass Man and I have been talking about embroidery because I just discovered that the Embroiderers Guild of America is in the town near me, Louisville, Kentucky. It's like, I didn't know that. I am spinning the Romney mohair blend, 70% Romney wool and 30% mohair. dyed. It is by Spinning Moon Fibers, I think is their name. Yep, Spinning Moon Fibers. Got it at a fiber fair. And it is really nice. I have really enjoyed spinning this. I have 8 ounces total, and this is the last of 4 ounces to put on this bobbin. I'm going to put the other 4 ounces on a second bobbin and 2-ply it. Don't know what I'll make with it. I picked it to spin next because I was starting over. I finished up most of my projects before I left and didn't really have anything spinning wise left to spin, so I went ahead and started this new because it was the biggest. It was in one great big ball, right? It was taking up the most room. So I decided to spin it because it was taking up a lot of room. This is what I was spinning on Thursday night too. Same thing. That's when I started this bobbin. It's not bad. Spinning about 1 ounce an hour. Hubby and I are going to town after I get off streaming and have supper out, get some groceries. Normally I do that Friday or Saturday, but it was raining. We decided not to go out. It's real nice and sunny today, pretty warm, so we might be able to sit on a patio to eat when we eat out. I sat out in the sunshine before stream and picked fiber apart that's washed. I'm getting ready to comb. It was a Shetland that I was working on. So that was nice, sitting outside. Very spring-like here. Alright, that's the end of that fiber. Oh, and the end of this bobbin. I'll just go ahead and let it all go in on the bobbin. Well, let's see if there's anybody to raid. I'll stop the music, plug my headphones in so I can hear if they're talking. Really? Crocheting a ball gown? I gotta see this.
Apparently coming out as bisexual last year has now allowed
Well,
me to tap
no
into
picture of
the
the
gay
ball gown.
audacity. Like queer audacity has now presented itself as a current fighting champion. So
Alright.
so when there's a will, there's a way.
That's
but
not
Sassy,
a ball gown. Oh. Miss Beekeeper's working on her master spinner. Let's go talk to her. She's spinning on a spindle. She's spinning on a Navajo spindle.
Years?
Do you know a Navajo
awesome.
spindle? It sits on the floor. It's cool. Okay.
My aunties all started spinning in the 70s too.
All right. Yep.
So
She is Mass Bandit.
something that I love being able to share with them.
Oh, I wonder if it's gonna. I don't think I can raid without the sign in. I bet you it's not gonna let me raid. Let me see. No, it's not going to. Oh man, I have got to get that fixed. So sorry. Let's go
Do you do
over
mostly
there on our own. It won't really
Wool,
be a
or
raid,
do you do
but
cotton and silk also?
sorry about that, folks.
I have to do a lot of cotton this year.
I have got to get that fixed. Yeah, an unofficial raid. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you all. Good chatting with you. I'll be back Tuesday morning. And you all have a good start to your week. All right? See you later. Bye.